You start.
Yeah, since I'm talking, I'm going to go with the Cowboys, and I'm going to give the Cowboys a solid B. Rhino, I think this team is close. War Chief, this team is getting close, and they did some things that put them into another category of why I think they're going to be close, or they're getting there. That signing from that trade from Rashan Gary from the Green Bay Packers over to the Cowboys, they now have Jerry's pass rush. You could scheme. You can't scheme against the pass. You could scheme against the run. You can't scheme against the run, but you can scheme against whatever he was saying last offseason when he went and moved Michael Parsons for Kenny Clark. Oh, by the way, Kenny Clark from the Green Bay Packers. So Rashan Gary comes over in a trade to play alongside of his friend Kenny Clark, and I'm willing to predict, not bet. I'm willing to predict that the two of them working together is kind of working off of your theory, Rhino. How one player is used to protect the other, kind of sort of like that force multiplier. I think Rashan Gary's going to do that. They also added some pieces on defense, especially in the secondary. but what's interesting about the pieces in the secondary, there's nothing really flashy. Nothing, they didn't break the bank to bring in guys, except with the exception of the safety, Jalen Thompson. I don't know. I'll admit, I don't know too much about any safeties other than Buda Baker from the Cardinals. They gave him a 3-year contract. Okay, let's see what he does. But what they really did here by adding their depth pieces and solidifying some holes on defense, Rhino, War Chief, they put themselves in a position now to not have to draft for need. That's the biggest thing the Cowboys did. They don't really have to draft positional need. They could draft the best player available. They do have 2 picks, so maybe they could do one or the other. And then another reason why they got their B, solid B, they're bringing back their entire offense, more or less. They're bringing back, they franchise tag Curious George. They re-sign Javonte. They're running it back with this offense. They think this offense is good enough. Their offensive line is pretty much intact. And again, to circle it all the way back, the Dallas Cowboys have gotten closer. I'm curious to see what they do in the draft. What do they need? Well, again, I don't know if they really need anything in the draft. I think they're going to draft some. I think they're going to draft really solid players. Whether it's another offensive lineman, I don't know if his name is Tyler or not. There'll be 3 Tylers on the line, or if they're going to draft one of the, if they can maybe somehow go work some magic, get up there and get another cornerback to go along with Ron Bland. I don't know, but nevertheless, the Cowboys have put themselves in a very good position.
So and then they traded away defensive tackle to pick up more capital, draft capital too. It's a round pick. To do they need depth at offensive line and defense. They still need defensive pieces, and they might need a second running back. I know Malik Davis did pretty good in his time when he was playing, but they still need an upgrade right there because from everything I've read, they have no. Jaden Blue is just too immature or whatever's going on right there. Every other reports I hear about him is he's immature and this and that. So they might be grabbing a running back later, 3rd, 4th round.
Got a little Phil Maffa. How about a little Philly Maffa? War Chief. He's like, no Phil Maffa. I completely agree, but I don't know. I mean, like, you do get the sense that they have gotten better. They've gotten close. They're in a tough division. But I think that they've gotten more aggressive as opposed to kind of waiting back. And when I say more aggressive, we could roll that back all the way to last training camp with the trade for Micah. So all these pieces are starting to come through. But by all means, It really started with the trade. Now they've got themselves a D-line, a big-time D-line.